Hello everyone. In this session, we will revise the fractions. We have learned about fractions in our earlier standards. So what we are going to do in this session is we are going to revise whatever we have learned till now. What is fraction? Fraction is part of a whole. Here there are two terms, important terms here, part and whole. So what exactly are they? Let's talk about you taking one example. So let's say I have one cake. That is my whole cake. Now I'll divide this into three equal parts. Again, the equal word here is very important. So I'm going to divide this cake into three equal parts. Each part is equal in size. One part of it, I take it for myself. What is the fraction of cake I have for myself? So to do that, to find the fraction, I'll talk about how many parts I have taken. I have taken one part. So part of a whole. And from how many total parts were there in a whole? When this cake was whole, how many total parts were there? 1, 2, 3 of the same size, 3 parts. So what I say is I have taken 1/3 of the cake, 1/3 part of the cake. And here 1/3 is a fraction. The number which is part, this number we call it as numerator. And the number below, that is the whole, we call it as denominator. Now let's talk about types of fraction. So based on the value of numerator and denominator, we have two types of fraction. One is called proper fraction. And another is called improper fraction. Now how do we? So whenever we have the numerator is smaller than denominator, so the upper part of your fraction is smaller than the lower part. So numerator is smaller than the denominator, we call it proper fraction. When the numerator is greater than the denominator, it's called improper fraction. So to give an example, if you see here, if I have a fraction 3/4, now 3, which is numerator, is smaller than 4. Hence, this is a proper fraction. But if I had 4/3, now in this case, numerator is 4 and which is greater than 3. And hence, this fraction is called improper fraction. Now, there is one more type of fraction called mixed fraction. Mixed fraction, more than a type, it is a different way of representation of improper fraction. So the improper fraction 4/3 can also be represented as 1/3, and it will be called mixed fraction. What we do here is, here 4/3, what is 4? 4 is the dividend. And we have 3 as divisor. When we do this division, what we get is we get something called quotient and remainders. If it is not a perfect division, we get remainder. The mixed fraction is always, when we do this division, Whatever quotient we get, quotient comes here, then the remainder comes on the top and divisor. Okay, so if I have to put it in, divisor comes here. This is divisor and quotient remainder upon divisor. That is what is the mixed fraction. Comparing fractions. We can compare fractions using 4 rules. First rule, if the denominators are same. So I have a fraction 4 upon 11 and another fraction 5 upon 11. The denominators are same. If the denominator is same, so if d is same, denominator is same, if denominator is same, what we do is greater the numerator. So whichever numerator, whatever we have a numerator is greater, then that fraction is greater fraction. Okay, so in this case, which is the greater numerator? 5 is a greater numerator, therefore this is greater. Okay, now we have second, this is rule or situation 1. Second situation where the numerators are same. So if I have 4 upon 11 and 4 upon 12, I have two fractions to compare, 4 upon 11 and 4 upon 12. In this case, numerator is same. So if numerator is same, greater the denominator, smaller is the fraction. So now in this case, what are the denominators? 11 and 12. Which one is a greater denominator? 12 is a greater denominator. So the greater the denominator, smaller is the fraction. So in this case, 4 upon 12 is smaller. Why is this happen? Why does this happen? Because we have, let's say we have a cake, 2 cakes. Okay, let's say in this case I make only 2 pieces of this. I make 3 pieces. Now in both cases I take 1 piece. So what is the fraction I have taken here? I have taken 1 upon 2 and here I have taken 1 upon 3. Now tell me which one is greater in size. It's obvious, it can be visibly seen that this is greater. Why? Because we have made less number of pieces. Less number of pieces means the denominator is smaller. So the smaller denominator is greater size of the piece. And hence we get this rule here. Rule number 3 is, if we are comparing a proper fraction, if you are comparing a proper fraction with improper fraction, if you're comparing proper with improper, improper fraction is always greater. Improper is always greater. So if you compare proper, improper is always greater. So you can use these 3 methods to find or to compare the fractions in a fast track mode. Now, what if none of these situations are true? So if I have a fraction, let's say 3 upon 4 and 5 upon 7. Now, do I have numerator same? No. Do I have denominator same? No. Do I have any of them improper and other proper? No. Both are proper. So I cannot use these 3 methods. So just for comparing the fraction now, what you do is you do a cross multiplication. So 3 into 7 is how much? 21. So 3 and 7, 21. So you write that this side. Okay, so 3 multiplied by 7 and 5 multiplied by 4, 20. Which one is greater? 21 is greater than 20. So in that case, 3 upon 4 is greater than 5 upon 7. So this is our rule number 4. For doing comparison of fractions in a faster way.
For a complete understanding of fractions and decimals, do watch our other videos on this topic. We'll come back with another video in short time. Till then, goodbye.